At MIT Solv, we believe that young people hold the empathy, power, and ingenuity to solve world problems.
This is why we launched Solv to encourage, inspire, and support young people to become problem solvers
in our own communities
and across the world.
We are bringing together a community of education providers, youth organizations, and other cross-sector leaders
to equip young people with knowledge, tools, and resources to practice problem identification and solution design.
If you want to create positive change and join a global community of young problem solvers,
come solve with us.
Come solve with us.
Come solve with us.
Submit your solution today to the Solv Youth Innovation Challenge. It's open to young people like us aged 24 and under, and we're looking to hear about your solutions to challenges in your own communities.
Applications are due January 2023. The selected Solv innovators will share over $100,000 in prize funding and access resources and mentorship from the MIT and Solv communities to further develop and scale their innovative solutions.
The world cannot wait, and this is our time.
Join Generation Solv.
Welcome everyone to the Solv Ed Solutions event. We're going to kick it off with Hala Hana. Come to the stage, Hala.
Ooh. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Eliza. Welcome to the second annual Solv Ed Solutions event. I'm Hala Hana, Managing Director of Solv. I am so excited to be here with you. You know, we launched Solv because we believe that if we want to build a more inclusive, equitable, and sustainable tomorrow, we need the next generation of problem solvers. That's the high schoolers protesting climate change, the students marching in the streets of Iran, that's every applicant to the Solv Youth Innovation Challenge. That is all of you tuning in today. Solv is set up to guide and support you. That is our part of the responsibility. In our first year for Solv we had over 4,000 young people taking part, 800 solutions submitted to the challenge from 99 countries. We dispersed 66 micro grants. I selected 10 Solv innovators that you'll hear from today. You'll hear their updates. We've awarded 180,000 in prize funding, including 60,000 in follow-on funding that will be announced today, so stay tuned for that. That was year one, and we're just getting started. Today is about three things: celebration, challenge, community. Celebration is about celebrating you because you show up and you want to do something. And if you're not feeling the spark of action today, we want to ignite it in you. If you have a spark, we want to make sure it lights up the whole sky. And two, it's about challenge, because if we challenge each other, we grow. And no one starts with full confidence, really, I guess, except if you're Lizzo. But for the rest of us, we often feel that we have to start with confidence first and then do something. Guess what? It's the opposite. We develop confidence because we force ourselves to do something, and then we prove to ourselves that we can do it. So there will be space today for that. And then community, because together we can do more than alone. That's it. And that's the program is really set up for that, to create the bonds and the connections, to make space for that collaboration. We just launched the second Youth Innovation Challenge a few weeks ago. We've already seen incredible submissions from all over the world. You can submit your application by January 24th for a chance to win prizes, mentorship, resources from MIT and the Solv community, and you'll get a chance to receive support on your application today as well. So I'm going to hand it off to our fantastic facilitator who'll be guiding you through the next 2 hours, and that's MIT student Adi Mehrotra. Adi, thank you so much for doing this. I also want to thank Eliza and Gabby and the whole Solv team. Before I hand it off to Adi, we do have an exciting announcement from Solv supporter HB. So I'm so happy that you're here, everybody. Happy solving. Enjoy it.
My name is Guillaume Girardin, and I'm the General Manager and Global Head of Print Supplies at HP. I'm delighted to join you all today to share some exciting news. Companies like ours have a critical role to play in helping solve today's challenges. Among them, sustainability is a big one. HP's commitment to sustainability is in the DNA of this company and essential to our business strategy because we know we need to do more. We also know we can't do this alone, but innovation driven by younger generation is key to making an impact on some of these tough sustainability challenges. That is why today I'm proud to announce that for the second year in a row, we are collaborating with MIT Solv to support the HP Create What's Next prize for the Solv Youth Innovation Challenge. We know that millions of people think about the environment and the planet daily, but many are sometimes skeptical that their individual actions make a difference. In fact, we believe that everyone can make a difference, whether by recycling cartridges or by paying attention to how a product is made. Small acts done by many can drive a big impact. This challenge is intended to tap the passions and creativity of young innovators to ignite and inspire collective actions. This year's prize will award up to $100,000 to solutions that are addressing sustainability challenges, particularly related to advancing the reduction, reuse, and recycling of plastics and packaging, and reducing the impact of waste on the planet. We can't wait to celebrate your innovations and create what's next together.
Thanks so much, Hala, for the amazing kickoff. I know for me, it's been so inspiring to see how the Solv Ed program has grown over the past year from its beginning to now. But yes, hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Addy. I'm a master's student here at MIT, Roll Tech. I mostly work on robots, but I've done some work with MIT Solv and MIT D-Lab before. But more importantly, I'm going to be your MC for the evening. Let's go. It's so good to be here. It's going to be such a great evening we have planned for you. Welcome. It's so exciting to see all of you tune in from all over the world, and we have a great event planned for you. So just briefly to go through the agenda, we have some super exciting speakers joining us, including Aidan Cohn-Murphy and Kalita Popal, who are going to tell us about their amazing work and their journey on becoming change makers. We're also going to get to catch up with our 2021 Solv Ed innovators and see all the work they've been doing over the past year. And then there's going to be a more interactive part of the event hosted by our very own Eliza Berg and Gabby Gonzalez. And they're going to take you through more details of the Youth Innovation Challenge, some tips and tricks on applying for those of you who are interested. And I hear there's also going to be a super fun design challenge. So that's super fun and exciting. But first, we actually wanted to hand it over to you guys because, as some of you know, we asked a few months ago for you guys to submit videos of telling us about your communities and the problems facing them and your ideas on how to solve them. And we made that into a super inspirational video that we were going to play here now.
Hi there, my name is Angela Zong. Within climate action, the issue that I want to discuss is deforestation. This is incredibly important because we need to decrease the carbon stock in our atmosphere through carbon negative options like planting trees if we want to resolve our climate crisis and we even decrease fossil fuels. Many companies have already promised to plant over 30 trillion trees by 2030, but seemingly deforestation is only getting worse. This seems a bit like greenwashing to me, so what's going on? A team of 7 international youth, including myself, have compiled recommendations on how companies should be planting these trees in order to maximize the effectiveness and increase the likelihood of success of these afforestation initiatives. What you can do to make this campaign effective is tagging different companies with tree planting pledges in the comments below and making sure that our reach can get promoted and amplified on social media algorithms.
Hi, my name is Siddhant Kumar Nishad from India. We come up with a solution to tackle environmental problem, and we have chosen the problem of carbon emissions. We all know that how much carbon emission is affected our climate changes, and India is contributing 3 gigaton of carbon dioxide each year, and which make it as of on the 4th place on the list of country most affected by climate changes. Air pollution and carbon emission also affected our health badly and causes many diseases. And one of the most common diseases is respiratory one. And to tackle all the problems, we have come up with the prototype, and we are at a developing stage of prototype where we will going to capture a black carbon in a soot form, and that black carbon soot form will be used as a bioproduct in the future. So with this note, we are not only purifying the air but also make the use of it.
Hi, my name is Oyinyekit Amabilis Umenoa. I'm a law graduate from Nigeria. The social problem I care about so much is the issue of lack of inclusive and accessible quality education, especially as it relates to persons with disabilities. More than ever, I care about this social problem after my encounter with a visually impaired law student. Let's call him X. X confided in me and told me the challenges he was facing as a student with disabilities in Nigeria. This made me realize what the students go through just to get this education. This made me start LawSANAID. LawSANAID is an initiative that provides a platform and access to a better and quality education for law and aspiring law students with disabilities in Africa. So far, we have been able to organize several programs and projects to help these students. We have been able to provide them with resources to make their education bearable.
Hi, my name is Shaurya Kandori and I love sports. One big problem is that different sports require different kinds of shoes, and buying so many pairs comes at a huge cost. Shoes emit as much carbon dioxide as 30 plastic bags, and over 1 billion shoes are discarded each year, which plays a huge role in global warming and building up a big carbon footprint. I have come up with an innovative solution, which is a detachable sole for shoes. My product, named Multiplay, is a removable sole that has an elastic feature strap, allowing it to stretch out and wrap around the shoe completely, forming an exoskeleton for the existing shoe. It has various features such as attachable studs and cleats, which modify a normal shoe into an ideal shoe for sports. It also extends the life of a shoe by saving it from wear and tear and taking the brunt of the friction. My product is currently in the design phase, and I will be making a prototype soon.
Hi, I'm Josh, and like many Americans, I live in constant dread. The murder of George Floyd led me to realize that as a young black man in America, there are many issues in our country that affect me personally and that need fixing. I dread that I could be the next victim of a mass shooting or police brutality. I feel for the people of Jackson, Mississippi, who haven't had access to potable water, and for the 34 million Americans who face food insecurity. Fixing these issues will require a massive number of people to take action. We've interviewed people from across the country and found it is difficult for them to navigate the activism space. They're unsure if any of it makes a difference, and they have to do it all alone. How's there no centralized hub for activism? We've checked the web, we've checked the App Store. History Shapers was the first mobile app to connect people and find all the ways they can take action on all the injustices in the United States. The app is simple. The power of the people will shape history.
Wow, thank you everyone who submitted a video. It was super inspirational to hear about the communities and all the work you guys are doing. But now we actually get to hear from and inspired by our first speaker of the evening. So here we go. Politico has called him an unlikely leader of America's largest and fastest growing media empire. He is the founder and executive director of Gen Z for Change, a nonprofit advocacy coalition of over 500 social media creators with an audience of 500 million people. He's overseen partnerships with the White House, Harvard Institute for Politics, March On, and Climate Power, and has been featured in the New York Times, Washington Post, Wired, Newsweek, the Boston Globe, Vice, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, all the C's, including CNN. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Aidan Cohn-Murphy.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Hello, Aidan, welcome. Can you please introduce yourself for us and tell us how you came to start Gen Z for Change and just what you're up to?
Absolutely. So my name is Aidan Cohn-Murphy, and I'm 18 years old. I grew up in Washington, D.C., and I was always interested in addressing the problems that I saw with tangible action. And this ranged throughout my life. When I was in first grade, I was very frustrated that my local public school that I was attending did not have chocolate milk for lunch. So I figured out exactly what piece of legislation banned chocolate milk from being served at our DC public schools. And I interviewed everyone in my school, and I testified before the DC Council trying to get it back.
Wow.
However, it did not work, but my spirit for trying to make change and pushing for solutions to the problems that I saw did not change. When I was a junior in high school, I decided to organize a phone bank for Joe Biden, because I thought it was one of the most effective ways that I could use the platform that I had on TikTok to get my friends involved, and so that they could use their platforms to push for progressive change and to support Joe Biden. I thought it was going to be a phone bank. Things got a little bit out of hand, as I like to say, and we ended up with 500 creators with a combined following of 500 million people. Our coalition reaches more people every single day than MSNBC, CNN, and Fox News combined. We are focused on empowering young people through digital tools and the ladder of civic engagement to actually answer the question that a lot of young people have: how do we get involved? And we've been a nonprofit for about 2 years, and it has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. And I have met so many incredible young people who inspire me every single day and keep me going and give me hope. And so does everyone here. And I know that it can feel daunting, but I would say look around you, although it's a webinar, but think about how many people are here. How could we not work together and start addressing the issues of our time?
Yeah, that's very powerful. And honestly, your story about the chocolate milk is it's so random, but so like I guess like telling just of like how simple actions can like really make a difference. So I guess, can you tell us a little bit about like how you guys chose to leverage social media, which is this huge like platform? Can you tell us a little bit about like that specific strategy and how you went about leveraging social media to create change?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that social media is, for a long time, was a tool that that traditional, whether it was politicians or entrepreneurs, were a little bit scared to use. But just like a lot of movements, young people were at the forefront of starting to use these tools and the massive reach that social media can have, especially with creators on TikTok and Instagram. This massive reach that truly does not compare to any other method of communication. I mean, we on election day alone in 2020, TikTok for Biden, which was the predecessor to Gen Z for Change, we made more impressions than all political advertisements made in the entire third quarter of 2020. And these are massive numbers that sometimes adults and people who aren't on social media can have a hard time contextualizing. But because young people are at the forefront of this movement, and we are confident that it works and that we've proven the success of these tactics, it has now become something where TikTokers, where we're being invited to the White House to talk about digital strategy. And I think that yeah.
Nice. And then my last question for you, which is all we have time for, really quick: what advice would you give to our community of young innovators tuning in today?
Embrace collaboration, I would say, is that embracing diversity of every kind, and especially including diverse learning styles and the people that you surround yourself with. Other people's perspectives and learning from others is the only way that you are going to grow, and it's the only way that we are going to rise as a generation to meet the very pressing issues that face all of us.
And the chat is totally right. This is really great advice. Thank you so much, Aiden, for taking the time to be with us here. It's been such a pleasure and so inspirational. So thank you, Aiden. Okay, so there's no doubt, right, that there are so many problems ahead of us as a society still. Education is still an issue for millions of children around the world. Climate change is showing no signs of slowing down. And our lives were turned upside down recently during a pandemic, which only exposed more issues in the country and around the world with healthcare and both its social equality as well. But we know we can do better, and you guys know we can do better as well. because last year, the Solv Ed Youth Innovation Challenge actually received 800 submissions from over 99 different countries from young people under the age of 24. Now, this was very difficult, but we narrowed it down to 10 individuals and awarded over $180,000 in prize funding. And now you get to hear from them 6 months after being part of the Solv program.
Hello, fellow innovators. I am Phyllis Mugadza, the founder of Spring. At Spring, we are developing the next generation of menstrual products that address the challenges we face during our periods.
My name is Gloria, co-founder and team leader at Triple P. We are a social enterprise based in Kenya, dedicated to providing affordable and eco-friendly fertilizer and animal feed.
Hi, my name is Olarinde, and I'm co-founder at Vinsight. At Vinsight, we're aiding visually impaired persons to be able to read conveniently and independently.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Nimwange, and I'm the developer of Atana, a device created to promote gender equality and solve the identification crisis.
Hi, Razin here, founder and CEO of Hydroco Plus. Tuning in from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Plenty of exciting updates to give. We're quite proud of our recent accomplishment, if you will, which is having been awarded ADB Finance government contracts under Asian Development Bank. And this makes us the first startup to achieve this feat in the history of the nation.
Food waste is the third largest emitter of greenhouse gases after US and China. While in Kenya, farmers spend 70 to 80% of their revenue in the purchase of animal feed. We're trying to solve these two challenges using insects to upcycle food waste in a process that reduces emissions from waste by 47% and produces farm inputs as fertilizer and animal feed that are affordable and eco-friendly.
Couple uses green nanotechnology to produce fruit and vegetable preservation solution, improving the shelf life.
Over 60 million people suffer from one form of mental illness in Nigeria, and fewer than 10% of that number actually have access to the care that they need. At InSync, our solution ensures anyone, anywhere could have access to primary mental health care simply by the use of artificial intelligence and the power of people.
We designed an AI application that aids visually impaired persons to be able to capture text in front of them and read this text aloud for them to listen to.
We are on a mission to combat period pain, period stigma, and period discrimination through our products.
Atana is a device that uses AI and math-based signatures to create unique identification that can't be hacked, faked, cloned, or stolen, and it can also be used in low infrastructure environments, so meaning where there's no electricity, no internet, and it's meant specifically for women in remote environments.
We joined MIT Solv 6 months ago, and in this period of time have been able to access world-class mentorship from organizations such as EY.
Our solution is used by farmers, market vendors, exporters, and retailers who are able to make more profit off their produce, and also we have so far increased our customers to 647, of which 582 of these are women. We have also obtained patents for our solution.
Since becoming a Solv innovator, we've been able to build a finished product and have already begun impacting the lives of people.
We've been able to engage with 3 more schools of the visually impaired in Nigeria, also piloting a solution with them. And just recently, we were mentioned by CNN as one of the top health tech startups in Africa, providing a solution that aids inclusion for visually impaired persons. We also have about 20 schools of visually impaired in the US that are looking to pilot our solution into within the next 6 months.
Our team has been able to develop our first product, the Ori Disc. The Ori Disc is a reusable menstrual product that includes a therapy for menstrual pain. We have designed the Ori Disc for menstruating people of all genders and of all physical abilities.
We've completed our first prototype, we've raised a little bit more money, and are planning for our pilot in December in Kisii, Kenya.
We've been accepted into Imagine H2O and Techstars Sustainability Accelerator Program in Paris. This quite gives us the ecosystem that we needed to scale all over the world. We've also had the opportunity of representing our startup at Singapore International Water Week amongst the best of the best water technology providers and MNCs. And so we continue to build on the spirit and high energy from the Day of Solutions event. Hopefully we'll see you on the other side, and with more exciting updates to give over the next few coming months.
We'd like to encourage every young person who has a dream and a passion that you have what it takes to solve it and contribute positive and effective change within your community.
A word of advice or kind of a call to action that I'd give to everyone is to make sure that when you're innovating, it's always gender responsively.
So to everyone listening to me, now is the time to take that bold step. Now is the time to make impact. And now is the time to change the world.
Oh my goodness, a huge congratulations to our 2021 Solv Ed innovators, and well done on your advancements and accomplishments over these past months. I am jumping on really quickly with an exciting announcement about follow-on funding for these innovators. So we have $60,000 in follow-on funding thanks to our wonderful partners. And this funding is for teams that really demonstrated the need for additional funding, as well as making excellent progress towards their goals. So without further ado, drum roll please, the follow-on funding recipients are HydroQuo Plus, Carpolax, Triple P, Spring, InSync, Vinsight, CropFix, and Etana. So all of the innovator teams that you just saw in the video, they will receive $7,500 in unrestricted funding to continue their excellent work. Congratulations again, and I'm going to hand it back over to Addie.
Thank you, Eliza. And that was such an amazing video. It's so inspirational to see what our teams have been up to over the past year. We have one more speaker for you tonight, and our next speaker is Khalida Popal, who is the purpose lead of Right to Dream and the founder of Girl Power. She has been tearing down barriers and empowering women in Afghanistan since 2007, and even helped found the Afghan national women's soccer team, which is super cool. When it became clear that she was no longer safe in the country, she went into exile, but she was able to continue her advocacy for the rights of women and girls by establishing Girl Power. Former soccer defender, she now defends human rights around the world. She unfortunately can't be here in person, but Eliza caught up with her recently, and we're going to play that conversation for you now.
Welcome, Khalida. So excited to speak with you today. I would love to just start off by hearing an introduction from you. Tell us a little bit about your story and how you came to start and lead Girl Power organization, as well as the Afghan women's football team, and some of what you're currently working on.
Thank you so much. I have started, like, my life story is like a lot around activism. I started activism in a very young age in a male-dominated country, Afghanistan, where I come from. Football has been always a tool for me to empower women and girls in the society, in the community where I lived in Afghanistan. That's where my journey in being involved in establishing the first Afghanistan women's national team to becoming the captain, and also working in Football Federation of Afghanistan as the first female who played a role in Football Federation. And I used that platform to not only raise my voice as a woman for my right, but the right of so many women and girls in Afghanistan who were not able to use their voices, but through platform of media and football. My activism was not acceptable in that society. That's why I faced a lot of risks and challenges towards my life when I had to go on exile from my country. So I'm fortunate. In 2012, I came to Denmark as a refugee and sought asylum in Denmark. And since then, I'm living as a refugee in Denmark and established my organization Girl Power in Denmark. The headquarters is here, but we have the activities all around the world. And I have never stopped my connection and the support for the Afghan women footballers, and supported the Afghan football women's football committee. Played this role of program director, where with the support of my colleagues from outside, we managed to support the training camps, friendly games for the national team of Afghanistan. living in diaspora. But that's what like my role has been always with the national team of Afghanistan. I have always been supported the team and the Afghan footballers.
Well, thank you for sharing that. It's a great introduction, and I can imagine a really supportive and wonderful community to be a part of. So I'm wondering if you can tell the group here today a little bit more about kind of the approach of using football and education to foster inclusion and belonging, especially among women and girls, and tell us a little bit about the impact that these programs have had. And I know particularly in some rural areas where access can be limited to this type of programming.
In Afghanistan, we use football to bring women together, a kind of a place, a platform to first of all unite women, to raise awareness about the challenges, to talk about the challenges. That was like our platform to get together as sisters and talk about the problems and then find solutions and then use that platform. But through Girl Power organization, we are using the power of education, meaning lifestyle workshops, programs, leadership programs, and sport to connect the refugee women or migrants who are living in an isolated community or disadvantaged community, and use those education and sport as a bridge to connect the people in like living in divided societies, to bring them together, to build network, to also help them to kind of empower them and like use that connection to benefit the societies and communities. It has been very powerful. Through these programs, we managed to help so many women to get jobs, pay taxes, get network, get to education system, but also so many women who got this strong connection of sisterhood support, and the mindset that we are trying to, through our programs, trying to encourage and develop in the society is to give back to sisterhood, give back to the community, and how we kind of participate actively in society to empower each other, but also to make sure there is no gap between the societies and society can benefit from all of this.
Well, that is such an inspiring note to end our chat on. And I just want to share for everyone here that Khalida is one of our ambassadors this year for the Solv Ed Youth Innovation Challenge. We're so excited to have you. Thank you so much for joining us, and we're excited for the work together to come.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, everyone, we are wrapping up our plenary programming. It was such an honor to speak with Khalida. I'm so thankful to Addie and to Aiden for joining us here this evening. I also did want to mention that Aiden is another one of our ambassadors this year for the Youth Innovation Challenge. So I'm going to wrap up here, but a couple of reminders and a few fun things for you all. So one, definitely check out the Youth Innovation Challenge and make sure you submit your solution by January 24th, 2023. You heard it here first about the $100,000 in prize funding. We'll be making additional updates as more prize funding comes through. I have a bit of a fun request for you. So we have a Kudo board that we're going to put a link to in the chat. And we'd love for you all just to go to the Kudo board, put in a reflection, put in, you can see an example here of the impact perhaps of the program if you've been with us for some time now, or if you're new to the program, if there's anything else you want to share. We want to hear from you. Just make sure you put in your first name and your location, and we're going to share this with our community in a really fun way over the coming months. So there's the link in the chat. I know some of you probably have questions about the Youth Innovation Challenge and about Solv Ed. And to that, I will say, please head over to the Zoom link for the interactive programming that we've sent to you via email, and we're going to put it in the chat as well right now, where we're going to go over some details of the Youth Innovation Challenge. We're going to have this fun design challenge and some other wonderful community-led sessions for you. So please do head over to that link. I'm posting it in the chat right now for you to join. And I think that just about concludes everything for this session. So just a huge thank you to our speakers, and a huge thank you to Addie, our MC. And we'll see you over on the other Zoom meeting very shortly. Thank you so much, everyone.